Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to We the Revolution. I'm Stu the Frugal Video Gamer, and due to the establishment of a revolutionary tribunal, we need to prepare an official stamp. I was told to ask you, citizen, because President Devoyer is indisposed. How much did he drink? He was not able to say. Shall we? Oh, okay. Hmm. I like that one. Thank you for your time. I know it's late. The stamp should be ready tomorrow. Good night. Yeah, I'll do the viola again. Oh, wow. Liberté. Day 4. I figure, well, depending on how long the acts last, I might go to Act 2. Granted, if I get, hour and a half, 2 hours in, and I'm still on Act 1, yeah, I'm gonna reassess. Tragically, we are losing control of the streets. People feel betrayed by the king, and some believe him to be a spy trying to elude justice. Special means are recommended when suppressing unrest. We only need an opinion from the judges to make sure we are working legally. In other words, you need their blessing to shoot at protesters. People can't control their emotions and are hurting other citizens as a result. Look at the windows. Next time they might do something worse than just throw rocks. Oh boy. Honestly, yeah. Boy, that was quick. Let's hope it's not too late to stop this madness. That's an interesting euphemism for musket fire. I I regret that. The mob wanted to act as both judge and jury again and hang people from the street lamps. Poor Pochard was almost hanged. Pochard? Claude Pochard? Exactly. The beloved tutor of your Frederick. You had to dismiss him after the incident with the oath of the clergy, did you not? Yes. Frederick tells me from time to time that he misses his teacher. Sorry about that. What are you doing? The trial is about to begin. It's about Monsieur Pochard. News travels fast. He's been accused of counter-revolutionary activities. You know him. It can't be true. It's not so simple. Leave before somebody hears us. Papa, please. Go home. Think about the family for once at least. Hey, I've been spending time with you. Oh boy. No pressing business. Please introduce yourself. Monsieur le Juge, you know me. State your personal information or there will be consequences. Claude Bouchard, Monsieur le Juge. You stand accused of spying for the counter-revolutionaries and criticizing the existing order. Do you admit to these crimes? I am innocent. The accusation is exaggerated and comes from the ill will of the accusers. Suggesting that the revolutionary government is acting in ill will, typical of a priest. Claude Bouchard, a 26-year-old vicar and tutor, son of a cobbler, believes in Enlightenment ideals. After refusing to adjure the civil constitution of the clergy, he was removed from his parish, prohibited from carrying out his duties, and sentenced to banishment. Despite this, he stayed in Paris and continued his work as a tutor, which he started before 1789. Bouchard was captured in the streets by fortuitous circumstances. A guard officer present during his trial a few months ago recognized him and didn't hesitate to act. Following an investigation, Bouchard was accused of spying and spreading counter-revolutionary propaganda in order to prepare a foreign intervention that would end the revolution. Correspondence with Archbishop Jean-Arsène de Breteuil was found in a room Bouchard had been renting from Marie Gimet. In it, the clergyman asked for information about the unrest and the supporters of the monarchy in hiding. Riches were also found. A golden chalice and a reliquary. Moreover, the director of one of the orphanages Claude taught in testified that the tutor would question the law of the revolution in front of the students, stating that it was less important than the laws handed down by God. Oh boy. Well, that goes to personality. That's the accusation. Also accusation, also counter-revolution. Parish priest. Huh. Well, that was rather simple. I'm gonna try hitting this one. Someone that witnessed Marie Gimet. Citizen, what is your name? Marie Gimet, Monsieur le Juge. Did the accused maintain extensive correspondence? Meaning? Did he receive many letters? I don't remember any letters with his name. Perhaps he had a rich social life. Did he entertain many guests? I don't remember anybody visiting him at all. He wasn't there most of the time anyway. He just used the room to sleep. Where would he go? I don't ask my guests about things like that. Did he ever criticize the revolution and its accomplishments? Get to the heart of it. Once he said that instead of beheading, they could do something about economy and teaching. That the children are hungry and, well, can't read or write. Did he ever question the law? Now that I think about it, maybe he did. One evening he complained that the law didn't work, that a smart person would send all the kids to school, by force if need be. Priest lectured our nation for 1,000 years and nothing good came of it. What does the accused have to say? Just what Madame Gimet said. I only want a decent and universal education for the youngest. Is that really criticizing the revolution? One of its slogans is equality. What do you teach? The caregivers in orphanages only pay for reading and writing lessons. So why did the accused teach children that God's law stands above that of the Republic? You spread superstition and counter-revolutionary propaganda. This is a misunderstanding. The children I teach are unable to understand such complicated matters. The accused's explanation further incriminates him. If they are unable to understand the topic, why would he even discuss it at all? I was only answering questions from the director of the orphanage in Gombian. I said that God's law stood above my banishment. It is God's law that prohibits me from leaving the country. I have a duty to help those in need. What stipend does the accused receive as a teacher? 2 francs a week, but most people give me food instead. Bread, butter, sometimes wine. Does it not bother you that poor people have to take food from their children to give it to you? Of course it bothers me, but I too have to eat. We demand an explanation. Where does the gold come from? Is it not from your fellow conspirators abroad? Of course not. It belongs to the parish in Compan, which is currently under my care. This gold is not my property. Why did the accused stay in France despite being banished? I had to take care of my sick mother. Without me, she surely would have died. Why did you not take her with you? I was in no position to afford that. I'm just a poor parish priest who was unable to even carry out his duties. I have to teach every single day to survive. Is that why you started spying? For money? No. What information could I glean that would be useful to emigre? That of the supposed persecution of priests. The main argument that Archbishop de Berthier and Pius VI are using to convince Catholic monarchs to strike against the revolution. I do not correspond with emigre, and I certainly do not write about the suffering of our clergymen. I would like to remind you that we have evidence. Why did the accused continue teaching instead of leaving France? My duty is to help others. If I am able to help as a priest, I want to at least share some of my knowledge. Your knowledge is Catholic propaganda. I prefer the term Catholic values. The accused travels extensively around the Paris department. To what end? I teach wherever I can find students. Doing that requires time and effort, I admit. Is that why you received gold from your fellow conspirators abroad? The only money I see comes from my students' caregivers. It is not at all immodest. So where did the riches found in your room come from? They were liturgical accoutrements. I saved them from the plunder of the church in Compan. I would rather go hungry than sell them. Did the accused celebrate masses despite the ban? There are no churches where I could do that. Then what purpose do the chalice and reliquary possessed by the accused serve? Private religious practice. They were prohibited from administering sacraments. It is not sacrament, merely prayer. The Declaration of the Rights of the Man and of the Citizens allows me to pray. You should be familiar with the document. That is beside the point. By promoting superstitions in a progressive country, you are spreading sedition. Yeah. Huh? Let's see. Not really. Oh. Okay. Okay, so I do have to... None. I have no connections. What about your letter? We have it in our files. You received instructions from the Archbishop. It is a simple letter, not instructions. And it is not from the Archbishop, but from my parish priest in Compan, Jean-Vincent Sareto. Where is he now? Switzerland. Whew, just shy. Yeah, that's at least a decent balance anyway. Because at the very least he did violate the terms of the punishment. Not sure about the first one, I'll admit. I sentence citizen Claude Brochard to prison. Leave the condemned out. Okay. So at least I'm staying on good terms with the prosecutor. Gonna disappoint the family, I know, but... Oop. Oh. Who got strung up? I'm not sure whether that's a French spelling of traitor or whether they were just poor spellers because of illiteracy. Oh. Oh, God.
One fool spewed out one word too many. The other fired a musket. They fought for freedom. Each for their own.
Fuck me.
That man. Hard to forget. He asked me if I'd seen his wife. He found his son. The freedom we borrowed from the wealthy and the noble. We believed it was worth the price. He was judged by people long devoid of their freedom. The only things they knew were dust and sweat. And anger.
Oh, God. We made a nice profit. There was a chance for prosperity. Why would the Renard family want to take over your shop, Grandpapa? For profit and power. It's always the same. It is no different in these times. Today is about equality, so not only the aristocrats can live with dignity. Grow up, boy. I only saw the truth when... Oh, damn it. Oh. Your uncle went to war and died in battle. Your generation will soon realize... Oh, damn it, I hit right-click again. Do you even consider the possibility that Pochard was guilty? He was no guiltier than any of us. Son, keep an eye on the Renards. Yep. Oh. Oh. Fair enough. Day 5. Oh. Okay. Oh, this guy. The defendant may introduce himself. We all know who this villain is. Mathieu Burel, Commander-in-Chief of the National Guard, and... Shut up already! Let us proceed to the testimony. In the dock sits Matthew Burrell, the former Commander-in-Chief of the National Guard. The defendant stands accused of causing the death of 34 people who took part in a demonstration against monarchic authority. Around 3 p.m., 2 spontaneous groups of protesters stumbled upon each other in one of the streets leading to Place Vendôme. A quarrel broke out between the supporters and opponents of Citizen Capet, with both sides engaged in a heated argument. None of the involved parties managed to gain the upper hand, and they were quickly resorted to name-calling and public threats. Soon after, a National Guard detachment led by the defendant arrived on the scene. According to the eyewitness testimony of Blaise Fosse, Commander-in-Chief Matthew Burrell stood himself between the two groups alone and attempted to talk sense into them. He was quickly shouted down by the protesters. A few of them vocally accused the Commander-in-Chief of violating their freedom of speech. A rock flew over Burrell's head. He then walked up to the regiment that until this point had stood away from the crowds. The Commander-in-Chief ordered them to load their muskets and aim at the protesters. He shouted to the mob that they should leave, which the people of France, of course, ignored. Then, as Fawcett testified, another rock barely missed his head. This time it managed to hit one of the soldiers in the chest, leaving him breathless for a moment. Burrell ordered the troops to fire. Bullets reached 34 people in total on both sides of the protest. During his arrest, Burrell tried to explain that he had the tribunal's opinion, which stated he could use force if needed. He tried to defend himself with similar opinions from the convention. Prosecutor Tinville did not care for such explanations, and his fiery speech convinced the deputies to dismiss him. Alright. Damn it. Okay. Oh, damn it. Whew. Barely. What words did you use when addressing the crowd? I asked them for a moment of silence, then when they were quiet, why they were fighting. That's when the peace ended and both sides started throwing accusations. Maybe you shouldn't have intervened. Maybe you only agitated the crowd more. How? By asking for a moment of silence? Did you say anything else? I was trying to shout over the crowd. Someone accused me of being a spy trying to silence them and suppress their freedom of speech. Was that your aim? My aim was to prevent bloodshed. As you can see, it was impossible. Were you given a reason for your dismissal? Multiple reasons. I will not address all of them, but the one that wounded me the most was my supposed incompetence. You caused the death of many people have died during the revolution, and yet the murderers are members of the convention, or judges of the tribunals. The accused should choose his words more carefully. That is slander. Oh, God. Spare me your speeches. If you had any decency left in you, you would remain silent. If we let you go, would you go back to your duty? No. Now I can see that being a scapegoat is the best I could have hoped for here. A deputy or a judge makes a mistake, so they convict a soldier. That is how it has always been and how it always will be. Summon the witness. Please introduce yourself. Blaise Fosse, Monsieur le Juge. I'm a simple blacksmith. Citizen, do you confirm being a witness of the events that the cause of our gathering today? Yes, I was a witness. I mean, I was there. I saw everything, and I want to talk about it. I really do. Can the accused recall what the people from both sides were saying? I'd rather not. Why? Because they were vulgar, Monsieur le Judge. They spewed curses at Robespierre, at Citizen Capet, and said these accusations were false. Please give us an example so we may understand their nature. Goatfucker, Bedswerver, Belkop. That's what they said about the Commander-in-Chief. They also said Citizen Capet was enough. What did the accused do when the first bodies fell? Oh, he wasn't very nice. Not nice at all. Can you be a bit more precise? He told his people to leave and then spat in the direction of the crowd and the bodies there. Oh boy. Does the accused not think that the order to load muskets may have been issued too early? Why? Because it could have further aggravated the crowd that was already outraged. The people of Paris have an ugly history of impaling heads on pikes. I had a sizable mob before me that was quite obviously ready to attack us at any moment. No, the order was not issued too early. More than that, we should have started shooting as soon as we arrived instead of Good Lord. Why did the citizens stand between the fighting groups? I know for a fact that you can decrease tension with reason and mediation of a third party. I was not involved with either of the groups. Wait, do you mean to say you are not a supporter of the revolution? During these events, I was a soldier and an officer first and foremost. I could not allow myself the comfort of having political views. Why? The security of the people was the most important thing. Citizens from surrounding houses first, protesters second. Since we are far beyond those events, I take this lack of a clear answer as evidence of your support for them. Good Lord. How was one of your soldiers injured? He was hit in the chest with a rock. He fell and for a moment could not catch his breath. Did you try to calm the crowd after the incident? Prosecutor, you must be joking. Why do you say that? They wanted blood. Their own or ours. It did not matter. They just wanted it spilled. You gave them what they wanted? I had good reason and a document in my hand. I was also responsible for the lives of my subordinates. During your arrest, you said that you were given official documents issued by... Is the condemned aware of the severity of the charges? You understand that 34 citizens were killed. Yeah, death penalty. Okay. Glad I spent it. I hereby sentence Mathieu Burel to death by guillotine. Maybe I could win the heart of the crowd. Yeah, I'll try it. Oh, before attempting persuasion, you may explore different approaches to all topics of conversation. After employing every kind of emotion, you will receive an evaluation of your choices. So, carefree. Let's see. He. Let's see. So, attached. So, he was careless. Let's see. Attached. Okay, well, too strong. Oh, crime is. The guillotine would almost be a pardon, such a. Defendant. Okay, and last one was aggression. Damn. Interesting. There can be no more demeaning experience for a revolutionary Paris than the escape of Citizen Capet. He escaped, slipped right from their hands, and the revolution now seems feeble and weak. The people resemble a child that could easily be duped by anyone. However, the Republic quickly composed itself thanks to a postmaster and his people, who were able to catch the fugitives escaping to Montmedy. Ordinary citizens led to the fall of the monarch. You will have a chance to serve the Republic as well for such. Oh boy. He deserves his day in court. Yeah, I guess that one. I can afford the minor hits. Capet. Yeah, still nothing urgent. Okay, this one I pretty much... People are anxious. Louis Capet, I hereby open your trial. Answer the questions when asked. Capet is the name of one of my ancestors. My name is Louis Auguste de Bourbon. That may have been your name before you raised your hand against the people you had sworn to defend. Oh, King Louis. Oh boy. Gathering armed forces. Boy, that was quick. Who issued the order to fire at citizens? Yeah. Oh boy. Hmm. You know what? I think present will work. When does the leader order a muster? Oh boy.
People, what vexes you? Why are you so angry?
The king lied to us! That coward ran from us! He'll surely run from justice as well! We found proof of the king's treachery in his secret iron cabinet!
Okay, so humility on all three, I think.
No one can flee from the justice of the Republic. Even kings must bow before the will of Tamis and the will of the people. Each new piece of evidence will be thoroughly examined. The Republic's standards demand nothing less. I shall follow them to the letter. I know that you might be angry, but you have chosen your representatives to protect you. Believe in me.
Okay. +2 reputation, influence, and common folks. Nice! Whew, boy. Would the defendant like to explain why he concealed his secure iron cabinet and the documents within from the convention? Aha! You kept your correspondence well hidden under lock and key. It can only be retrieved with the assistance of a master locksmith. Oh, nice. Okay, so here's the new evidence. Carefully question and find the... Oh. To reestablish the natural European... Oh, boy. You were aware of the plans of the Emperor and the Duke of Brunswick. Why did you not warn the National Assembly and the army? You need to speak up. I did not deem their threat serious. Allow me to quote, "My armies await my orders." Does that not sound like a serious threat? Was the accused responsible for the attempts to bribe deputies of the Assembly in order to abolish it? But it was found in a cache belonging to the accused. It speaks of thanks from the king. A trial that has not happened for 3 years now. That is the fault of the Minister of Justice. I ordered him to carry out an investigation and to punish the Minister of Internal Affairs. Was the Swiss Guard going to help during the Duke's attack on Paris? Aw. Okay, so... Did the accused intend to lead the Emperor's forces to France? You must admit that such an offer from an enemy government paints you in a bad light. Yeah. Pretty well guilty on this one. And those did seal the deal. Three. I'm gonna be dancing on a razor's edge here, aren't I? Hierarchy. Oh, Burrell is now gone. Oh boy.
Do they understand? Their excitement was stronger than the smell of the fresh wood the guillotine was made from. Do they know what's about to happen? Sheep that only now realize they used to have fangs and claws. One thought guides their clenched fists.
To bow before the new, uncompromising idol with a shining steel crown
I too have felt their eyes on me, just like him. A silent assistant in this ritual of new faith. A random acolyte, scared, doubtful. Will not the old gods seek vengeance for this treachery? He abandoned them all too easily. I was unable to understand their screams. I only tasted the stench of their sweaty bodies. But I could hear one thing perfectly. Bring us the king.
Sure. So let's see. Humility, oversensitive, manipulation maybe? Perfect, weak. Shit. I'll go aggressive, careless, or careless, aggressive. Well, actually, no. Aggressive, manipulate, aggressive. Well. I almost want to say that was the actual... what he actually said. I'm curious what would have happened if I hadn't pulled the rope. I'll do reading together. Oh, wow. Damn. Alrighty. And once I see the autosave. Okay, apparently not. Thank you all for joining me, and I will see you next time. In the meantime, have a nice night and pleasant dreams.